Much better. See if we can't get some grease done in that. See that spiral shaft done in there. Put some moly grease done in there. Easier said than done. And you'll see that there's a screw boss here and one here, and there are 2 holes. You need to line up with those, and that's how it goes back together, like that. Now let's grease up this planetary gear set here. And that is what this will eventually plug into. Battery's about to go dead. So the only other thing to do put a little grease here. Put some down on the inside right here. No more rust, which is good. I also cleaned out the inside of the can. Get all the junk out. Let's put the brushes in. We're going to leave it on the socket. We just want to get this installed. To help with that, need a little grease. A little of the Chemplex 825 silicone compound. We'll work that. Don't want to get it on the brushes, just on the rubber down in the groove. Alright, now at this point, as you can see, the wires might be in the way, and I'm not going to better clip them. So, we are going to have to remove the retaining wires and be careful about the magnet with this socket, because it's going to want to pull the socket out. So now the socket is holding the brushes back. Try to keep this as close to the top as possible so we get it away from the magnets. Just like that. Now we are going to want to slide the rotor in And this is going to be tricky, especially with that washer. Let's put a little grease behind it. Make it stay in there. You don't want to get any grease on the actual commutator set or anywhere else on the rotor except around the shafts. That'll work. A little surface tension there to hold it in. And it's going to want to grab it like that. Straight down. Straight onto the socket. And just ease it on through. There you go. Reinstalled. If you're curious about the OD on this, it is 33.6 millimeters. Now we need the retaining plate to go back on, and we're going to have to line up the holes here for the screws. And make sure you keep your finger on this. I mean, the magnets are going to hold it, but just to make sure it doesn't fall out again. So it looks like they're going to go through these two big holes here. And we also can see that this retaining plate here goes down and holds that bushing in. Just like that. Now we need our washer and the retaining clip. Alright, there we go. So, have the push down on that. So you can see it sticks out a little bit beyond the case. Give it a little pressure and it'll get trapped. Now, I want to grease this up a little bit. This will get warm and ooze down in there. That is back together. Now, I guess we can go ahead and put this back together. I've already greased all the bits here. So, and if we remember, this goes to the solenoid, so we want to line up that with this. I have to rotate this a little bit to get it to pop down. There we go. Nope. Snug them up. Now that's nice and loose. All I gotta do is touch it with my finger and roll it. Alright, now solenoid has been cleaned. Decided not to paint it, it's not really worth it. It's dried. I buffed the piston here. Nice smooth action now, it's not catching. But I am going to put just a light coating of moly . And the spring goes in there, fits on that brass peg, hook it on, insert the spring on this end, and then work it on. Wait, no, 30 is for the battery. Which one's 30? Which one's 30? This is 30. Okay, yeah. So 30 goes to the battery. This is 30. And that's where your alternator wire goes. It's to 30. So looking at this particular starter, that's how it should be set up. Gears facing out, and this is where your ignition starter lead goes. So we need to put a little sealant on this. I'm just going to use a little thread sealant at the top of the head. Critical connection there. Make sure it's clean and tight. Now, is it going to work? And is it going to work better? Well, let's find out. Oh yeah, a lot quieter. Let's run the motor and the solenoid. A lot more quiet.